Cool.
So for those who maybe been with us for a little while, you know that Reagan comes in quarterly and goes over all of the benefits and all of the resources that Real has to offer us as agents. And I know that there's a lot of people on this call that are also new to our team and new to Real altogether. And maybe you don't fully know what the benefits are of being part of Real Brokerage. So that's why Reagan is here today. And so I think if we could go over probably stocks, fee structure. I know there's been some updates to the fees that just rolled out. And anything else you think is relevant, and then maybe we can open it up to a Q&A at the end. I think that'd be awesome. So Reagan,
Absolutely.
thank you for being here. The floor is yours.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, Ashley. No, I love being here. And those of you who don't know me, my name's Reagan Nicholson. I'm the California growth leader for Real. And so what that means to you is if you ever have any needs or questions around attraction or anything about Real, just reach out to me. I'm here as a resource. And so what I think today, Ashley, can I share my screen?
Yes, you should be able to, but let me make you.
Yeah, I think we are.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, this is what you're looking at is part of what we call the 8 ways to earn income at Real. And this is a great resource. You can grab this in the marketing center under the pinned items, and grab it from there. It's constantly, it's a lot, it's living. So they constantly update it. And so today I want to go through, we'll use this as a resource to talk, because everything that has changed as of April 1st, we had some things that have gone into effect for everyone now. We had tiered it in for new agents, and now this will now affect all of us as we do transactions with Real. So I'm going to kind of jump through this, but this is a great tool to keep in your phone and your notes, because if you're having conversations about Real with other agents, this is really your go-to piece. It will touch on all the financial stock pieces and all that good stuff and fees. Okay. So can everyone see the screen good? This is our agent plan. So this is the commission plan. We're an 85-15 split. That is not changed. No monthly fees, 12K cap. None of that's changed, but I want everyone to pay attention to this box right here. What has changed is once you cap, we now have a $285 transaction fee. That was, gosh, I can't even remember now. I feel like it was lower, but now that has bumped up. $285 on sales, $175 on leases. And this is after you cap. What has changed as well is a $249 sign-up fee. That used to be $150. We also now have what we call a BOP fee for $30. That is constant. That's on every transaction, regardless of whether you've capped or not capped. So that is ongoing. That covers some insurance pieces and some other things. The other big change in the fee structure was the $750 annual brokerage fee. So for those of you who are currently in your cap and you've already paid this, don't worry about it. This will happen as your anniversary year kind of rolls back around. But let's just say you're existing, and let's say you're still in this, you haven't capped yet, and you haven't done your 3 transactions. This will affect you. The way we're taking this out is in the first 3 transactions of your anniversary year. It's $250, $250, and $250. This covers your E&O insurance as well as some other insurance pieces. So those are your main fee structure changes that went into effect April 1st. Any questions on that? I mean, let's make this interactive. If you have questions, we can jump in and address those.
I have a quick clarifying question. So the $285 transaction fee after cap, that's per transaction after you cap, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Now, what I should explain there is that $285 is going toward your elite status. So once you cap, and now you're working toward that $6,000 elite cap, that $285 is going toward that. Now, in addition, for those of us in California and like you guys market, our price points are so much higher that a 285 transaction fee equals about 21 transactions. So you got to be moving some pretty high volume to get that, but you can also get to it by way of, and I'll show you this slide in a little bit. You can get to it by way of a commission. If you do a $500,000 GCI and do 10 transactions of $1 million or more, that can get you to elite status. So, you know, it's kind of a different piece. We'll go over that, but Ashley, just yes, simply the 285 is every transaction, but that goes toward your elite, counts toward your elite. If you never get to elite, you're still just paying the 285. Still no monthly fee. That's really the only fee you're incurring after, plus the $30 BOP fee. And I hear someone. Cool.
That was Siri.
Oh, hey, Siri. What's important about the 285 as well, and this comes up, and with you guys being on a team, that's divided, it's per transaction, and that's divided equally depending on what your split is with your team lead. So let's just say for easeability, if it's 50-50, then each of you are paying half of the 285, but you get only the half credit toward the elite. Does that make sense to everyone? Same with the BOP fee. That's only one per transaction, and it's divided accordingly. Okay, Siri, I said your name, and now all my things are going off again. See, I forget. I can't say your name.
Hi, Reagan.
Good to see you. Good. How are you?
Good. I was like, I'm going to jump on and see you. I haven't seen you for a little while, so just wanted to say hi.
It has been a while. This year is flying by. So does the fee, does anyone have any questions around the fee structure thus far and how that's split out? Okay, cool. So that's really the main fee issues. This is for teams. I'm not going to get into that. The 5 for 15 has not changed. At every closing, you're able to take 5% of your commission, purchase real stock, and the company will bonus you 15% of whatever that 5% is. Okay, so that hasn't changed. That's what it's always been. If you're new to the company, then this is an option, and it's a great way to build basically a savings plan, because for everything you buy, the 5%, the company will bonus you the 15% of the 5, and then after 1 year holding period, that vests and that goes to you, and that's in your stock account. So that's a great way to build some passive income. Now, what has changed? Stock reward for capping. So this is for up until we get to 11,000 agents. Right now, we're just at 10. So we've got about 1,000 agents to go. And for every agent that you attract, if you're a 12K capper, you get 250 shares of stock. If you're a half capper, or for some of you guys, y'all have a 4th cap. So this tiers down depending on what cap structure you're at. So it'll be important to know that this affects how, the cap structure you're in. The way this works for attraction, you attract someone, you don't get the shares until they do their first transaction that generates at least $2,500 GCI. So until they build up to that point, it can be done in multiple transactions. Let's say they don't quite do it. Probably won't happen in our area. If they're in the Southern California area or other metropolitan areas, probably won't be an issue. Some smaller ancillary markets, that could be an issue, and then it builds up. But once they reach that threshold of 2,500 GCI, that's when you'll see the shares go in. So it's not instantaneous when they join. They have to do a transaction. Any questions on that? So that's changed a little bit since, we last spoke, because we're in a different window of agent count. We still offer the 10 for 30. So after you cap, you can do 10% of your commission, and we'll bonus you 30%. So that has stayed the same as far as the numbers. And then, but what has changed since we last spoke, after you reach the maximum, which is 15,000, it's 3,400 and 15,000. So a total of like 18,300 on the contribution piece. The company will no longer bonus you. However, you still have the option to continually take out the 10% stock. You could purchase 10%. So if you still want to keep building your portfolio and buying stock at your closings, you can do that now. So we're not going to, the company will not continue to bonus you, but yeah, Wendy.
Oh, thank you. And I saw Gary's hand go up too. What happens after we get more than 11,000 agents?
Okay, so this could tweak up. We may see it stay the same, but it could tweak up. The capping shares might reduce down a little bit. What we're starting to see is, I think we're kind of getting at a leveling off piece, because at some point we're going to level off. I don't know what that is and what that looks like. We could see that go down, Wendy, or we could see it stay the same for the next little group. So I don't know. And they don't really give us a heads up on that.
Right, because I do know there's only a certain number of shares you can have outstanding. So
exactly. So I do think we'll get to some leveling off point. I just don't know where that's going to be.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Wendy. So hey, Gary.
Yeah, hey. So just real quick, so like the 5% and the 10% that you get paid out in stock, that you can get after a year. The bonus is 3 years, correct?
No, so Gary, on this particular, in this instance, the 5 for 15 and the 10 for 30, think about it this way: the 5 and the 10 that you purchase, they're yours. And anytime during that year, they're yours. You could take them. If you pull them before, or you exercise them or sell them before the year, you don't get the bonus. But in this instance, this period is 1 year, and then you get the bonus pieces. And those don't have a vesting piece beyond that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got
it. Just on these. But Gary, you're right. On anything else that you're gifted or awarded, there is either a 1 year or a 3 year. Gotcha. And we'll get to that. So like a capping share, an attraction share that we just talked about, that piece, I keep saying attraction, but I think we were talking about capping. Yeah. The capping share, when you get those, and I'm sorry, guys, I went into the attraction share bit. Forget what I said on these, on the capping share, you get the 250 shares. That's yours when you cap. That is a 3-year vest. So you'll understand when I get to the attraction shares. I combine the two, so I apologize. Okay. I hope that didn't completely confuse everyone. Does that make sense? I just realized I did that. Okay. So Gary, does that answer your question on the 10 yes. For 30?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Thanks. Any other questions on the stock bonus piece? Okay. All right. So guys, this is the elite that we were talking about, the 285. So once you cap, and you'll start working toward this 6K. So there's 2 ways you can elite. You either satisfy the 6K cap with the 285 transaction fee, which is about 21 units. I get it. That's a lot. And that's a lot for our area. We have the other option that you can, if you do a $500,000 GCI and you complete 10 transactions that equal $1 million plus, then that would elite you as well. And for elite, you're going to get $16,000 in stock. So that's that part of that. The other part of elite is when you give back and you teach in the academy. Once a month for 1 year, we'll award you another $8,000 in stock. Now, you don't have to take advantage of the teach monthly, but you got to elite to get to the teach. You can't just teach and not do the elite. You got to elite first before you're eligible to teach. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. All right. Now we're to the capping shares, which is where I was before. Or no, we were in the capping share. Wait, why is this doing this? Attraction shares. Okay. So now we're talking about attraction shares. Same amount of agents. When you attract, you get 125 shares. Those will not go into your stock account until they do a transaction that equals $2,500 GCI. So I apologize, that don't want to confuse. That's what I said earlier. So for this, for a 12K capper, you get 125 shares. For a 6K capper, you get 60. And if you're a 4K, it tiers down half again. I believe it's 30 shares. Any questions around attraction, since I totally confused that situation?
20
Okay.
lashes with a wet noodle. Sorry.
What's that, Wendy?
I said 20 lashes with a wet noodle.
There you go. Let's have it. Let's have it. Okay. Yeah. So this will stay the same until 11,000. And to Wendy's point, I don't know what we're going to do after that. They don't privy us to that. So we'll just have to stay on top of that, because we'll be at 11,000 agents sooner than later. So the way we're growing, especially in California, we've just seen exponential growth in California. All right. Rev share. Nothing has changed in the rev share 5-tier model since we last spoke. And you know, the easiest way I found to explain this for anyone that's new to this model is I would recommend getting on the 8 Ways call that we host every other week. Kimberly Ryan and I host this on the Academy, and we really detail this out big time. But for you guys, I'll give you the high notes. Think about this. For every agent that you attract, we have 5 tiers, tier 1 through 5. We pay the most on tier 1. I want you to always think about this in attraction. You're really just focusing on your tier 1. The other tiers will come by way of your people that you attract. So think about this. Every agent that you put on your tier 1, that is a full capper. And let's just talk about full cappers. You're going to get up to you have the opportunity to get up to $4,000, and this is in cash, per year off that agent. So you can see how this could add up really quickly. Let's just say you had 10 agents on your top line and they're all capping 12K cappers. I mean, that's 40K for the year. So that can be a lucrative. It's not all or nothing. If they only get halfway to capping, you get $2,000, and you get that each month as they close deals. At that piece of the commission of the piece of the commission that comes out of the 15% to the company is reallocating that to the agents for rev share. So this isn't coming out of any one agent's pocket as far as their commission. It's coming out of the company dollar. So as you attract people, then you know, people that you attract, then they attract. That's how you build out your 2, 3, 4, and 5. What you really want to think about is, do you see these numbers up here, 1 through 9? This gets a little confusing, but just think about this. As you have one tier, think linear, think horizontal. You get to your 10th person, that opens up 2. You get to your 15th person, that opens up 3. Your 20th opens 4, and your 25th person opens 5. So if you're going to get strategic, first goal is get to 10. 10 opens 2. Next goal might be to get to 15 people on your top line. That opens 3. Now, you don't have to open up all. And what I love to do is play the scenario of, if you get 10 people, if you just get 10 people on your front line, that opens up tier 1 and 2. Think about what you can do with that. If everyone in your, so let's say you've got 10 on tier 1, that opens up 2. If every one of your people on tier 1 attract 10 people to the company, that puts 100 people on your tier 2. Does that make sense to everyone? And on tier 2, this is cappers. For 12K cappers, you get $3,200 per 12K capper when they cap. What's 3,200 times 100?
A lot.
320,000.
Yes.
There's some nice money here. And then you add the 40 that you would naturally get, that would be 360. It's not all or nothing. So think about it. What if you just got half of that? Still a nice chunk of change. I mean, this is what's great about the rev share model, is it creates a great passive funnel of income. So that's what's really cool about what the company offers in the rev share. Now, This might be for some people and this might not be for others. So when you're having the attraction conversation, find out if it's important to them and you can dive in and, you know, have that combo. So I know that was kind of the overview of RevShare, but any questions, or maybe you've come across some things, some of you that have been around that you have questions. Wendy.
So I want to make sure I'm understanding this. So the first tier is 5%. And then if you get 10 to 14 people, are you saying you get an additional 4%? So that now we're talking 9%?
No. So Wendy, think about this. And this is where the chart's confusing. Think about this. You're always thinking linear, tier one. Everyone that you ever get on your tier one, you get 5% of each closing of their overall commission until they cap.
Okay.
Then anyone in your tier two is 4%. Anyone in your tier three is 3%.
Oh,
tier
okay.
Two, and then 1. Now to access those, you got to open up accordingly. So you'd have to get to 10, 15, 20, or 25. So that's really what these numbers represent. When you get to 10, you've opened up tier 2. When you get to 15, you've opened up tier 3.
Okay. So
tier
it's going to be for like the 10 to 14 agents you've attracted, it's going to be 4% of their transaction.
No. So Wendy, in that 10 to 14, they're still on your top tier.
Okay.
You're still going to get the 5%. What it's saying is that now because of that 10th agent, you have access to tier 2. So let's say you attract someone and they've got a team of 3, that their team would be in your tier 2. You'd have 3 people in your tier 2 that you're going to get 4% of.
All right.
You'll get 5% of the person you invited, and then 4% of anyone they invite.
Okay. Got it.
Does that make sense?
I've got my head wrapped around it now. Yes.
Okay. I know it's a little confusing. We've tried so many different charts and we can't seem to find one that just really solidifies. But just think about this. You're always putting anyone you invite into your tier 1. If they're bringing people immediately, they're going in your tier 2. But not because you're putting them there, because they're putting them in their tier 1. That just happens to go in your tier 2. That's why I'm saying 2, 3, and 4, and 5 naturally fills in.
Okay.
People get so hung up on, let's get strategic. What do we do here? No, just worry about your tier 1 and then everything else will happen.
Yeah. Let's just get to 10 and then, worry about what's happening.
Absolutely.
Very lucrative.
Absolutely. And here's what's cool about the RevShare, guys. Even let's just say you ever get 5 people in your top tier and those 5 people cap and you get 4,000 a per, that's still 20 extra thousand a year. And it's not all or nothing. You don't ever have to open up other tiers. It could just be, hey, I just attract as I attract. I'm not really going to get into the whole, like making it part of what I do. So that's what I love about this. It's not all or nothing. And we pay the most on the top tier, which other RevShare models and other brokerages do not. They actually pay more on the bottom. So you got to really get really intentional with your RevShare at other brokerages.
Okay.
Well, any other questions on the RevShare?
Reagan, I think I've got it. So I just want one quick little scenario. So if I have like 5 people in tier 1, and out of those 5, they all brought in a few people. Let's say each of them brought 2 people in. Those go into the tier 2. I'll never access those unless I get a 10th person in my tier 1. And then I can get that 4% and then so on until I get 15 people and they bring on, I go to tier 3 and so forth. Right.
That is correct, Gary. So like you could have 1,000 people in your whole network. And if you don't have those tiers opened, like 10, 15, 20, you can't access that below. So if you're under 10, you're stuck. You're only got what you have in your front tier. That 10 would access you to all those people that you mentioned. So it would be important for you to get to 10 so you could get to that level 2. And guys, there's big money in those lower levels. Like if you look at some of our bigger RevShare networks in the company, they don't have massive amounts of people. Like they don't have 100 people in their top line. They may have 25 or 30, but their downlines, like all the fill-in part is so big. There could be big numbers even in tier 5, if you can access it down, but you got to be sure and get each one open. Does that answer that question, Gary?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Cool. Okay. Any other questions around rev share? Okay. Okay. So these are some things that have changed and that are coming in 23 that since we probably last talked is willable rev share. They're saying it's a done deal, but they're working out the details. What's cool about this, guys, is the beneficiary does not have to be licensed. So they've figured out a workaround with the attorneys on that. So that's really a great legacy piece to leave to the family. More to come on that and how that works out. We're now offering co-sponsorship in RevShare and sponsorship. So normal, like before this, it would have been like, oh, Wendy, do you want to join Real? And oh yeah, I do. And they join under me and I'm their sponsor. But now with co-sponsoring, Wendy wants to join, but Siri and I both know her. And I'm like, yeah, but you know what? I live in New York and Siri's in California and Wendy, you're in California. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to co-sponsor you so that Siri can take care of you on the ground in California, but you still have me as a resource in New York and we know each other. So it's a great way to partner with people in the company when we know people across the country. So the co-sponsorship is huge. It helps people that are coming in make the decision because so often they don't know who to pick. And then it reduces down the need for people to sponsor shop. They feel like, gosh, if I don't name Ashley, then I'm not going to get all the benefits. If I don't name so-and-so, I won't, so this kind of levels the playing field for them as far as in their mind. What else is cool about co-sponsor? Let's say that we only have 5 tiers, right? And let's say that Wendy's in my 5th tier and she comes to me and says, or she's going to attract someone, but that's in her tier 1, but her tier 1, I have no access to because, she's in my 5th. So really her next tier down, her tier 1 is 6 which I have no access to. But let's say she and I work together and she says, hey, Reagan, I need help. And I'll say, okay, let me help you out. Then half of that person goes into my top tier, half goes into her bottom tier. In her top tier, which is in my 6th tier, but then I get access because of Wendy. So it helps create an infinite circle. If people want to flow that back up, if you help people lower in your tier system, it can start bringing people back up to the top. Does that make sense? I know that can be a little confusing. But overall, it's just a really great way to collaborate and to help our community attract.
I'm just going to focus on getting 10 at least.
Exactly.
I'll worry about the details of all the 2, 3, 4, and 5 and
exactly. And Wendy, think about this in co-sponsoring. Let's just say you need help. You've got someone, and they're going to join y'all's team or whatever. That would be find someone on the team, find Siri, like somebody that if you feel like you need help with that conversation, that could be a good co-share, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And some people just are natural attractors and some people don't like having that conversation, but they know people. So it's a nice way to get help. And then, then you share that. And the way that works, guys, is you get a full half representation in your tier system. Each of you get a half, but the way the rev share is paid out, you get 45% and 45% of the rev share, and the company takes 10 for the management of that. So you do give up a little bit by doing the co-share to the company, but it's still a great way. It's still a good win for everyone.
Right.
Okay, cool. All right. So, the next thing that is coming, and guys, those of you who were on the California State Call last week, we had Sean Daly with Real Title come on. We've opened up in California. The JV, which is joint venture profit sharing, is not quite ready to launch in California, but what that will look like for a $500 buy-in, then you get to share in the profit share of Real Title. Now, that's in California. And the that we benefit from that when we get people to use it. So we're going to encourage people to actually utilize the title, service with Sean and those guys. If you need more answers on that, I'm not probably going to be your guy because I'm just learning, but we can get you hooked up with Sean. He's got team members and reps in the area in California. I think one of his gals is in Los Angeles. So we can get you hooked up if you want more information on that. But that's another way, they're kind of dubbing it the 9th way to earn income at Real. But that JV, we call it a JV, joint venture, where you buy in and you get money. So that could be a good opportunity for you as well. And then we talked about the stock purchasing program. So this is where you can still purchase stock at closing, even though you've maxed out your bonus. So the bonus piece won't keep coming, but you can still keep purchasing stock, because a lot of times, out of sight, out of mind, the money comes out of your commission, you never miss it. And then you're building your stock portfolio, which in time, the intention is that will be worth, more money. So that's a good thing. Any questions on the coming soons for 2023? All right. Additional things. We've got, they're saying early Q2, we're going to have Real Signature. So like a digital signing platform that we will have on the app. So that'll be great. A new consumer app. This is going to be an outward facing app. It is my understanding it will be linked to each individual agent. That's something you could give to your customer that has IDX so they could search properties. And that could be an outward facing piece. If you're familiar, I know KW has one. Believe Compass does. Some of the other brokerages have them and they're super great. When I was with KW, I loved it because you could just forward it. It said, Reagan, your neighborhood specialist has sent you this and whatever. And, it keeps them tethered to you. And then if they have a question about a piece that comes up, they can tag you in it and, you stay in the loop. So hopefully ours will be that robust. That's my hope. But that's coming. Also, health insurance. So I don't know I haven't been given the parameters on that. We are fortunate in California that we have the opportunity with the state and our real estate board that the DRE that we can, purchase insurance. Many other states do not have that. They don't see realtors as a group. But this will be some plan that allows, for some kind of group health insurance. Any questions on those pieces? All right. These are our usual disclosures. This is all about the caps and everything. So you can look at all that by way of the slide deck. So let's open it up to any Q&A. Do we have questions about anything? I mean, not just about what we talked about. If you have anything, I'll do my best, or maybe we can, direct that to the correct person. No questions? And all this group, there's no questions. Come on now. All right.
Okay. Well, guys, as always, you'll be able to refer back to this training. We do record them and put them on our YouTube channel. Reagan, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. You're always such a pleasure to have on our meetings and trainings. We'll have to get you back down here in person at some point.
Yes.
To meet everybody that you haven't met yet, because there's a lot.
I know it's always changing. And that's what I love about you guys. Yeah. That it's always growing. So
will we see you at the Real event in San Diego?
Oh, you mean for the conference?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
What is it, in October? I think
in October. Oh, absolutely. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we're going to try to get
excited
you down
that we're hosting this. You guys are, San Diego, I'm Orange County, but that we're getting to host it in the state. I mean, it's going to be exciting. So, and I know y'all are doing some great things in San Diego with the cafes. So I'm going to get down there at some point. It's been crazy busy. Good. So it's all good. So cool. Ashley, was there anything else that you had in mind that you wanted me to go over, or?
No, that was perfect. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So guys, go share Real with your friends. Focus on those 10. Put your head down, get to work, and it'll all fall into place.
Yeah. And guys, if y'all need help, I mean, you've got Siri and you've got the great support staff there, I know. But if you guys have any questions, especially around attraction, please feel free to reach out, because I can direct you to resources, help with conversations. I know y'all have tons of support in that arena, but if you need anything, know that I'm here. So
awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
All
Reagan.
right.
Yeah, thanks.
Have a great
Maria.
day, everyone.
all right, guys, talk to you later.
Bye.